All right, I'm very excited to show you that we have Kimi implemented in the platform. So alongside our typical Anthropic models, you can now select from Kimi K3 at 2.7 and their high speed, which kind of correlate to Opus, Sonnet, and Haiku from Anthropic. And for a lot of things you do in here, like the app builder, that was just showing you here, it does a great job. Also in chatbots, so I kind of need to do a video on these. I haven't done one yet, but they're pretty powerful. There's a lot of different uses for the model in here, like building the widgets, the tools, the computations, how it behaves, your embeds, the persona, all that. Kimi also does a great job here. And then in workflows as well, if you have an agent node, what you do is just come up here into settings and you'd set the provider to Kimi. And then in your agent nodes, you can pick from the Kimi models. And really for workflows, for the type of things that happen here, it's just a fantastic option. So this combined with the caching stuff or memoization stuff discussed previously should combine to save you at least 50% on tokens should you use them in tandem. And again, for most workflows, I think that's probably what you should be doing. It'll work out fine for you. If there's something you're doing that really requires a more frontier model, then you can just selectively step up in that case and keep the baseline with Kimi. So if you watched the last video, some of you might be wondering, well, a big part of the savings from using the recursive method in the loop came from Anthropic's cache savings. When you re-hit the same header context, the byte prefix, right? Well, Moonshot does the same thing. So they have a very similar cache. So because we use the recursive, agent respawn, if you will, per node in the graph, we still get those cache hit savings versus using a persistent session, where those tokens and the output tokens would start to grow. So yeah, so you don't have to worry. If you use Kimi, you still get the savings. And in addition, their token cost is just less, right? So for most cases, it's a great option, and they compound to save you money. And so yeah, hopefully, that gives you some thought either for your existing business or new business, to use our platform to kind of utilize all that plumbing for free and just start building right away without having to think about it. And if you do have an existing business, it's worth mentioning, we've gone to great lengths to make sure importing all of your digital assets for use by the AI and the workflows and your chatbots, etc., is as easy as possible. So, you can just import with Git, or you can just upload the files directly for observability by the agents. And, we recommend Git because then technical members of your team can also just pull, make their own edits and push, etc. Everything is kind of there. It's all shareable and usable by your entire team, technical and non-technical. There's a lot of different options. There's no lock-in. You can pull just as much as you can push, right? So we just want to make it as easy and fluid as possible for you to integrate this into what you already have.